Good day again, class. We're now going to discuss referencing. Referencing, I must say at this stage, is a very big deal. The reason it's a very big deal is that we need to show that we are adding to the body of knowledge out there, as well as recognizing other experts within the body of knowledge. So therefore, we have to get it right. It is a very tedious and difficult task to do. There are many online tools such as Cite As You Write, Zotero, and probably quite a whole lot more. It's also possible that your face-to-face tutor might go through a bit more referencing with you than what I can offer you here, but my goal is to show you practically how we can use MS Word to make this task a lot easier. So without much ado, let me bring my blog back up again. There it is. You can already see some of my references that are in there. How do we get them? Well, let me go back to Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word has proved very useful. It's allowed me to put my own references in, ready for when I put them onto the blog. I would suggest when it comes to referencing, downloading and installing Microsoft Word. I would do this and then run Microsoft Word, preferably version 2016, which is what Office 365 is currently at, as its reference tool is quite good. If you're not sure how to download Microsoft Word, I will cover this in another video later. Anyhow, for the moment, we go to references. In references, you have this insert citation tool and a bibliography tool. You start with bibliography, and it will allow you to put in either a bibliography, a references option, or a works cited option. I personally use references, and it's seen at the bottom over here. Okay, once that's done, you generally end up with an unpopulated box at the bottom over here until you start to insert your citations. To insert a citation, it's simply a matter of saying add new source, and you can do that. The options we will cover are the book. I found we'll have to cover the journal article too. We'll have to cover the website, and we will need to possibly cover an interview. The interview is Word's equivalent of a PERSCOM. A PERSCOM is when you would talk to one of your lecturers and ask them for some help. If they give you help, you do need to reference that. For instance, if they're going to be teaching you how to use Blogger or explain a term to you, you need to indicate that in your reference, that you spoke to the lecturer and got clarity on term or topic. Okay, that's what it does. I've gone through all of these things over here, and they all seem to have a common sort of list of options over here. If you click on this over here, it expands the list. Now, what is crucial is to at least have an author, the title of the works. This is a journal article, so I'll change it to a book. But you need to have an author, a title, a year, a city, a state, a province, and a country. And a publisher is useful, and an editor is quite useful as well, and the number of pages. Sometimes there's an edition involved as well, and sometimes there's a URL in the case of a book, although that's not that common. The next one we look at is the journal article. Now, the journal article is a little bit more complicated, also with an author title, a journal name. For instance, if it's Journal of Media Studies and you're writing a paper called The Digital Citizenship for Infants, and it's in this particular journal, you'll need to let people know about that. City, year, month, all useful again. An editor and a publisher are often common with journals. There's often a volume. There's an issue. Sometimes there's a short title as well. For instance, in the case of the British Journal of Hand Therapy, would be written out in full, but its short title would be B space J space Hand Ther. So it would be slightly different. Sometimes there's a standard number as well. There would be a year that you would have accessed it. Sometimes they have this DOI, which is a typical thing for a journal. Sometimes there's a URL as well. Sometimes access dates are also important. Once you've done that, you would obviously, in the event of all the information, you would need to save it. The web page, right, well, two things here. You get a web page and a website. Now, a web page is on a website. For example, if you look at the 9 elements of digital citizenship, we have here we've got the digital citizenship website or as it were. So that would correspond to your website over here. Now the web page would be, as we would look at it now, when we look at the 9 elements web page, which is a hyperlink. Hyperlink links web pages on websites. You can see there are all your 9 elements. So in this case, we would then call the web page the 9 elements of digital citizenship. The website would be digital citizenship. The editor is not obvious in most cases. Sometimes it is. You would look at the bottom. The author is Mike Ribble. It's 2017. It's created by GoDaddy Custom Design Group, which means you would then need to use that down here in your where is it? There's a field for that on a website. I can't find it now. There is a field somewhere for that. Oh yes, your production country, that's correct. So maybe that might be your production country entry. With a website, as well as with an interview, year access, month access, day access, very important, because that was when you looked at the website or conducted the interview with the person in the case of an interview. The URL is essential. Here you would need to give this URL, not that URL. You need to give the 9 elements URL. So that is the one to copy and paste in over there. If the website's at a second version, you could say that too. There's often not a DOI or any other thing to worry about. That's the website. Now with your interview or your post-com, you would need to check here. Interviewee, that would be the person you're interviewing, except it's me as the lecturer, you would put my name in. The title would be Discussion of the 9 Elements of Digital Citizenship, say for instance. If it's broadcast, the title, if there's the interviewer would be you, the year would be this year, the month would be this month, the day would be any day. These things are not so important. City, you could probably put Durban. I don't know if any of the other things, state, province, country, region, same thing. Not much is important. The most important thing about interviewing and websites is access date, obviously. That discusses all of that. Here are the examples. There is my references over here. In the next video, I will show you how to change them and configure them. Bye.